I got the countdown. I see. All right, and we're here, ready to close out the Pokemon block. I hope you're all doing well at SpeedStuff4Charity here. Been really enjoying it so far. My name is Conception2. I have here on my couch with me a familiar voice. If you want to introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm NES underscore of Pokemon Stadium fame.
Yeah, fame. Yeah, it just happened, and he's already famous. So that's great news. But yes, we're going to be running the any % glitchless category. First, let's get started here. Oh, actually, I just gotta erase my save data. While we're doing that, we can go ahead and close out the bid war for the rival name. So I know what we are going to name the rival.
Do a quick refresh here.
Yep.
The rival name will be SDAT, S-D-A-T.
Ah, all right, absolutely sniped. Okay.
Let's go.
In terms of marathons. Yeah, absolutely. So SDAT is what it's going to be. Time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, this is Pokemon Red. Just gonna focus on making sure I name everything correctly here. We're gonna be naming ourselves a one character name, which is actually very important, not only to save frames, as every letter that appears in a text box like this takes about 1 frame, but it's also going to be important for us. Speed docs a thon, right? Yeah. SDAT. There we go. There we go. So it will save frames every time, but it's also very important for us to set up an RNG manipulation, which we'll get into a little bit later. We do quite a few of those. All right, so first things first, we're in our room here. We're gonna grab a potion that is in the PC there, and that is utterly for safety. We do need to win our very first fight against our rival here. We need the experience. There's about a 10% chance that we die to it, so we wanna make sure that we survive it, and we do that by having a potion. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, just a reminder, because the last run you did, you forgot to name the Nidoran one character name. Please do that so you can do the moon manip. Yes.
Well, yeah, I wish I could say that was the, yeah, you know what? That was totally the reason why I failed. I didn't just miss some inputs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that was the reason why I failed, but yeah, no, that definitely does save some time, and it's actually important for manip for the Paris inside Moon Manip to be able to catch it in the first ball. We pick Squirtle here. Obviously, Squirtle is the starter of choice, but it will not be the Pokemon we run throughout most of the game, but it will be our early Pokemon. And we nickname it one character as well, just again to save the frames, and it's also going to be important for an RNG manipulation later on. But here we are. We're already in our first fight.
How much will you donate if you lose the fight?
If I lose the fight, I won't lose the fight because I have a potion.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, I literally can't. I literally can't. But if we do have some deaths, I will do $5 per death, because this run is very, very likely to have at least a death or 2 in it. So $5 per death for sure.
Shout out to Misty, who killed the only 2 Pokemon Red runs I've ever done.
Yep, and it doesn't get better. Honestly, Misty is one of the points that I could easily die in this run. So our basic strategy here, by the way, is we use Tail Whip first in order to lower Bulbasaur's defense. However, he continuously keeps using Growl, which is lowering my attack. So we're literally getting pretty much the slowest possible fight. As you can see, I'm doing like paper cuts worth of damage to it. And I've missed Tackle twice. If you were here for Nessa's run just now, we talked a lot about Thunder being 70% accurate. Tackle is 95% accurate, and I've missed it 3 times this fight so far. So,
dude, I love fucking monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Yep, that's just how it is. And you notice now that Bulbasaur keeps using Growl and it says nothing happened. That is because my attack cannot possibly be lower. So, but despite getting literally the slowest possible fight maybe that I've ever seen, we still win. So we did it. I guess it's a victory.
Is it really a win Like, that took so many turns.
I know. It doesn't feel like it, but I mean, by the definition, it is.
Gen 1's coming up.
So we're
dang.
Yep, exactly. But this is okay. So ideally we want to see a rat here. We could see a Rattata or a Pidgey. We need to kill something that's either level 2 or level 3, and a Rattata is preferable because a Pidgey will do a little bit more damage to you, or at least has a higher percentage to do damage to you. That is because a Rattata has the option to tail whip you, whereas the Pidgey only has Gust. So the Pidgey can only use Gust on us, but the Rattata could have used tail whip, but didn't. But we need to get a little bit of experience here. We only needed to fight one Pokemon, so now every time we hit a Pokemon, it's unlucky. This level 5 Pidgey is, I think, 5% to hit. That's like a 5% encounter. It's like the highest level thing you can get in the grass there, so. All very interesting so far. We're getting to see all sides of Gen 1 Pokemon speedrunning.
Yeah. Honestly, with Gen 1 speedrunning, whenever I think of that, I just think of like Gen 1 misses and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to talk about Gen 1 misses, but we'll be happy to should the situation arise.
I will donate $1 for every Gen 1 miss.
Oh man, I don't want to see them. Most of the time they come at a very inopportune moment that would probably cause a death or something.
Yeah, like every single Thunder miss in Stadium. It's just really unfortunate, really inopportune.
Exactly. So you might have noticed here, I did a little bit of a weird movement. I'm talking to Oak from the side. I actually could have also talked to Oak from behind. There's a couple reasons for that. If we had talked to Oak straight on, we would have been one tile lower than where we are now, which would have had our rival walking one extra tile. The reason why that's slow is because our rival walks at half the speed that we do when he comes in. So the reason why we talk to him from Oak from the side is because there's one tile that is now removed, so he comes in one tile sooner than he would have. We could also talk to Oak from behind, like I mentioned, which would raise it by 2 tiles, but we also have to walk a couple extra steps, but it actually ends up being exact to the frame, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. In Pokemon Yellow, you have to walk behind Oak because you have Pikachu behind you, so you don't have a choice.
Yeah, there's a lot of like similarities and like really small like differences between like red and yellow, but for the most part, like the runs are mostly the same, aside from like some of the minips are different. But
yeah, the main beats are the same. We use the same running Pokemon with similar moveset. It's a little bit different, but it's pretty similar. And we don't, like Ness was talking about, the differences. The manips are different. The areas we catch the Pokemon are different. Things like that, but mostly similar.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna head back into the mart here. We're gonna grab 4 Pokeballs. We only need, oops, no, I don't want 5. That's too much. We want 4 exactly. We only need 3. I grab 1 extra for safety. But I don't want 5 because then I won't be able to buy as many potions later. All right, perfect. I am gonna save here. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to do one thing first. I forgot. I need to switch these potions with the Pokeball. Now I'll save. And then I'm gonna reset here, and then I'm just gonna need a little bit of quiet time to make sure I get this, and then we'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing after. Ooh, so something unique, very unique happened here that I get to talk to you about now. So what we are doing here is an RNG manipulation for a very specific Pokemon. I actually executed that perfectly, but something happened here that we call in the community IGT. So even though I executed this RNG manipulation perfectly, there is a certain percentage that no matter what, it won't work, and that's completely based on the frame that I saved on. So now I have to reload the game, resave, and try it again.
Let's go getting IGT'd.
Yep. You love to see it in a marathon run. It's absolutely unavoidable. It is very unlikely, but you love to see it. All right, now if I did it right, we should see Nidoran. All right, perfect.
Okay, epic.
Perfect. Okay, so as we talked about before, this is an RNG manipulation. We saved and we quit. And when I was in the bio screens or like the loading screens talking, you know, it talks about the Game Freak and then the little video and then the home screen, I was holding very specific inputs in order to activate a specific occurrence in the game. Then once I loaded into the game, I followed a very specific path, and I actually pressed A on seven different tiles there, and made it so that specific Nidoran came up. And I also frame perfectly cleared the text boxes in order to make sure that when I threw that Pokeball, it entered the ball and stayed in on the first throw.
Yeah, with pushing A for the manips, it like basically just like kind of staggers you for a frame, so you can kind of advance very, very small like increments.
Yes, exactly. What it's doing is when you press A, it's actually checking the ground for any encounters or hidden items. So it just has a little quick buffer. And when we do it and we buffer it exactly for the right amount of time and then enter the grass as we do, then it will get the same encounter every time, provided, of course, that we're not IGT'd like we were the first time. So, all right, so this is the only trainer between the beginning and Brock that we have to fight. In this Weedle, it's already faster than us, so using String Shot here is actually really good. We want to see that continuously, because the other move that Weedle could use is Poison Sting, and we can get poisoned, so. So we start off by using 2 Tail Whips to lower its defense, and if things go to plan, it will take 4 tackles to kill. I say go to plan because this is one of the very few fights in the game that if we got a critical hit with the tackle here, it would actually do less damage. And that is because critical hits ignore all status changes completely. So it would ignore the fact that I lowered the Weedle's defense by 2, and it would actually do a little bit less damage and would have made it so I would have had to do a 5 turn. That was actually pretty much a perfect fight that you can ask for. No poison, and it was exactly the amount of turns we needed it to be. Plus, we did not hit any encounters in the Viridian Forest, so you love to see that.
Absolutely. In the Viridian Forest, he did take a very specific path, walking on tiles with like flowers like in the corner of the grass to try and avoid as many encounters as possible. It's not exactly 100% to avoid all the encounters, but it's pretty close to just avoid almost everything, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so those tiles that have the flowers in the corners are actually 1/3 of a chance to spawn a Pokemon as they would be normally. So the fact that we just take that exact path to make sure that we don't hit any encounters it makes it so it's likely that we won't hit an encounter, but you can still hit an encounter pretty easily. It just reduces the chance by 1/3 per tile. But here we are, we're at Brock.
Gym 1 already.
That's right. So you'll notice here we swap Nidoran to the front, and that is just simply so we can get Nidoran some XP. Then we're gonna swap back to Squirtle here.
Ah yes, switch training. Something never changed.
Yep. Ooh, the fact that the Squirtle did that much damage means it's got a good special, which is good. It makes the Onix fight coming next a little bit safer. Nidoran is now level 6. We're gonna switch back to Nidoran again to do some more switch training. All right, and then we got to see what the Onix gives us here. Screech, fail Screech is even better.
Let's go.
If that Screech would have hit, I would have had to heal here because 2 tackles would have killed me. But we got pretty much, again, the fastest fight we could ask for, so not too bad. All right, now Nidoran is level 8, so it's actually very specific to the amount of XP we need, because, for example, if I had tried to kill Geodude with Nidoran, which obviously wouldn't have gone well because it's a rock type versus a poison type, but if I had tried to, we actually would have gained too much XP, and Nidoran would be level 9. And if we skipped level 8 and went to level 9, Nidoran would not learn Horn Attack there, and we need Horn Attack. We absolutely need Horn Attack, so we have to make sure we're very careful that we hit level 8.
Yeah, one thing that was touched on a little bit ago was he talked about having good special, the Squirtle having good special. In Gen 1, they didn't separate the special into special attack and special defense. I think that happened in like Gen 3. But Squirtle having good special basically means every special move has it will hit a lot harder, and you won't take like as much damage from all the special moves. Just since it's combined.
Exactly. One thing that's also worth mentioning here, well, 2 things actually. One, you might have seen me go in my menu very briefly when I exited the gym there, and that is because I turned off this switch battle style so that it will no longer ask me after every Pokemon we faint if I would like to switch to another Pokemon, because we have Nidoran here, and we're basically going to use Nidoran till the end. And the second thing that is worth mentioning is we talked a little bit about the RNG manipulation, and I obviously wanted to get a Nidoran because it's the Pokemon we run with. But not only did I manipulate it so I got a Nidoran, I manipulated it so I got a level 4 Nidoran, because you can get a level 3 Nidoran in that grass, and I got a level 4 Nidoran with near perfect stats. It's basically the best Pokemon best version of Nidoran that you can run with is the version I have. It has perfect attack, it has perfect speed, which are the main 2 things that matter. It has pretty high special. I think it's like 1 less. The max it could be in terms of level is 15, so it has 15 attack, 15 speed, IV, and then it has, I think it's 14 special and 13 defense. So it's pretty much, you can't ask for a better Nidoran to run with, almost. All right. This is Shorts Guy. He says I like shorts because they're easy to wear, and he's also very annoying because he has an Ekans.
Yeah, but he's iconic, so...
He absolutely is iconic. I can't fight that.
Yeah.
Alright, Tail Whip is okay here. Okay. A little low, but that's fine. So the reason why the Ekans is a bit annoying is because Ekans knows a move called Wrap. Now, Wrap in Gen 1 works a little bit differently than you might have seen in other generations. If the Ekans ends up using Wrap, it actually incapacitates me for 2 to 5 turns while it continues to do damage for me. In later generations, Wrap will let you continue your turn while the other opposing Pokemon continues to Wrap you. But in Gen 1, you can't take a turn until Wrap is over. So it just wastes a lot of turns. Luckily, we didn't see it, and that is actually an extreme rarity. He's only about 1 in 3 to use it, but I see it about 98% of the time. So
yeah, I'm really happy Petite Cup won the Stadium Bid War, because in Pika Cup, there is one fight where Tentacruel just uses Wrap and won't stop using Wrap, and it just kills every attempt. It's just really bad.
Yeah, Wrap is a very annoying move in Gen 1. But yeah, we didn't see it, which is honestly really good. And as you can see, this Nidoran is just making short work of pretty much everything. We're using the first 2 trainers were using Leer to lower their defense a bit. We don't really have to use Leer at all anymore. We might end up using it at 1 trainer inside Mount Moon coming up, but we don't necessarily have to. Just because our Nidoran is so beefy that it's not a problem. I'm actually gonna Horn Attack that one. I don't think Tackle would have killed it. Of course we got a critical anyway, so.
Of course. Because you got that critical, that means you would have missed Tackle, so.
Exactly. Percentages mean nothing to Gen 1 speedrunning. You know, we know what they are, but they don't feel real.
Yeah, percentages are just a suggestion.
Yeah. Tackle will kill this, so that's nice. All right, and we have one more trainer we got to fight on this Route 3 here. And then we are going to do a Pokemon catch in the grass that's just below us right after this trainer, so. All right, come on, give me a crit. Give me a crit. Nope.
Mind if I sneak in a donation?
Please do.
There's $20 from Anonymous that went toward Mimi for the Monkey Ball bid war, and I have another one if there's still time.
Oh, please. Yeah, you got plenty of time.
All right. Tempest Mask 1000 is back with another $1 and says, I'd vote for Mimi, but it seems she's in the lead as is. So I've got a better idea. For Shasta's Zelda file name, let's name it Epic Bunny. I was also thinking of Squirrel in honor of a fallen comrade at the train station today, but I feel now is not the time. Someday, but not today, you poor soul.
Shout out to that poor soul of the squirrel. And unfortunately, we now get to talk about Gen 1 misses because I just had one.
Yes.
Yes.
Money.
Yeah, I guess. I don't feel great about it, but here's what it is. So Gen 1 misses. For what just happened there, Horn Attack is a 100% accurate move, which means it should hit no matter what, minus if we had gotten our accuracy lowered and things like that. For some reason, in Gen 1, there is a 1 in 256 chance that your move will miss for no reason. And that is what we call a Gen 1 miss. And I just got one on that Metapod, which is unfortunate. So we enter the grass here, and we are going to catch a flying Pokemon, which is a Spearow, is perfect. So we're going to do this one.
Let's go Spearow.
Yeah, Spearow. So we could catch a Spearow or a Pidgey here. Spearow is actually the better one to catch because it functions as a better backup if things go a little wrong later. So I'm glad to have seen Spearow here.
Yeah, Pidgey's been getting too much spotlight for the flying poke.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so we got that. And also so I got that Gen 1 miss on the Metapod there, and I actually ended up spamming Tackle at the end there, which is obviously a lot slower than using Horn Attack. But the reason I ended up doing that is because I'm not going to use this Pokemon Center here. I'm going to skip it altogether. So what I'm going to do, I needed to make sure I had at least 3 Horn Attacks left for what's coming in a little bit. So I have exactly 3, so I didn't want to use any more. But what we're going to do is we're going to heal up, save here, and I definitely need some quiet time.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, so I was a little early on 1A press there. We were doing another RNG manipulation, if you couldn't tell. Very specifically, if I had done it successfully, we could have gone almost the entirety of this cave without hitting a wild Pokemon at all. But I was a little bit early on 1A press there. So we do have a backup as soon as I get to, not this ladder that I'm about to reach, but the next one. And then we have a backup where we can start kind of halfway through and get through another chunk without hitting an encounter.
Yeah, that got pretty hard.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. It's very difficult. So I had mentioned earlier that with the Nidoran RNG manipulation that I walked a very specific path and I did about 7 A presses. This RNG manipulation takes about like between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes in length of walking a very specific path, and it's about 30 something A presses. Oh, okay. I'm going to catch this. So, one moment, please. we need a Paris. The reason why I'm going to catch it. Ooh, that's excellent. Wonderful. Great news. We need a Paris. Inevitably, the RNG manipulation, I was going to do the backup. If done are you? Ooh, okay. Well, we can do the backup if we need to. So hopefully it gets in the ball. Okay. All right. That's exactly why we buy 4 balls instead of 3 for marathons.
Yes.
Whew, my heart skipped a beat in my chest there for a second. So the backup RNG manipulation we're going to do as soon as we go down this next ladder. If I do it properly, it's going to cause a Paris encounter anyway. So it's not a big deal if I had, killed that Paris by accident or something like that. It would have been fine. If I had no Pokeballs to catch the Paris, that would have obviously been a problem. So. But we have a Paris now, so when we inevitably spawn that other Paris, we're just gonna run away from it. All right. For the people, let's get this back up right. Okay, so that's the tile that the Paris is going to be on. See, as you can see, it's Paris. So normally there is actually, if I had done everything right, include like from the beginning, did that one long manipulation, I could have gotten all the way to this spot where that Paris would have spawned, and then if I had cleared the text boxes framed perfectly, I could have performed an additional manipulation to cause the Paris to get into the ball on the first try. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that, but we have the Paris, which is really the important thing. Okay, so we're gonna leer this. We're actually a little bit lower health than I would have liked. I probably should have healed again, but we'll see if we can get by anyway.
This grunt.
Luckily, this
grunt can be annoying.
Go ahead. Yeah, which is exactly why I saved before it. Cool. So we two-shotted it. That's excellent. And that rat didn't do any damage to us, which is also really good. So far so good. Let's see if we can keep it up. This Zubat is also very annoying, and of course we got supersonicked. Hit through and kill, please. Okay, we're good. Beautiful.
No longer throwing for content. Let's go.
Beautiful. Supersonic, if you're unfamiliar, in Gen 1 is a coin flip to hits, 50-50. And then you're 50-50 from that point forward to hit yourself in confusion. So we got unlucky that we did get confused, but we hit through the confusion, and we're able to take out the Zubat. So that worked out really good. During my extended manipulation, you also saw me pick up several items, a rare candy, an escape rope, and 2 TMs, which we're going to get into using those now. So we use the rare candy to evolve the Nidoran into Nidorino. And then now we pick up TM12, which is Water Gun, which we're going to teach to Nidorino. Oh, we also picked up the Moonstone, forgot to mention that. So now we're going to evolve the Nidorino that we just evolved into Nidoking immediately. So now we're going to be running Nidoking for the whole rest of the run, which is exactly why we do it. We are before the second badge, and we already have a fully evolved Pokemon at level 16.
This poor super nerd has no idea what's about to hit him.
Yep, exactly, for sure. And last but not least, we're going to teach Mega Punch to our Nidoking now.
Imagine being like random blast, and just like all you know is like small flower Pokemon and like rats, and then suddenly like Poison Ground God comes out and earthquakes your entire team.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what's going to happen right here. Okay, so we can get into this now since it already happened. Mega Punch is also not a 100% accurate move. It is 85%. So naturally we missed the first one. But we did hit the second one, so that's good.
Yeah, as is tradition.
Mm-hmm. It's actually pretty, if we had hit the first one there, it actually was secretly fortuitous that we missed that first one. If we had hit, then the disable would have taken hold that Grimer could have used, and he could have used it on Mega Punch, which just makes this fight slower. It doesn't put us in danger, it just makes it a lot slower. But because it missed, disable to take effect, your move has to have hit previously. So since it missed, then we didn't get disabled, so it worked out. And yeah, we just completely destroy this super nerd. Shout out to Helix here.
Thank you. This is my favorite part of the run.
I'd like to, yep. I'd like to say we get it specifically for you, but it's actually fastest to get the Helix fossil, obviously, since we go straight up.
No.
And not only
that makes me happy.
yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, because we go straight up, it's easier to move, and because the super nerd then also gets to go straight up instead of like maneuvering around us to go get the Helix fossil. That's why we pick it up. And naturally, it's fastest because Helix is, you know, a fast name. You just think Helix, you think speed.
I think Schmonkey.
All right, so we are here in Cerulean City. We are going to heal, which is very important because we don't have any, you know, horn attacks. Our health is actually in pretty good shape because we barely got touched by the rocket in Mount Moon, so that actually worked out for us pretty well. But now we're going to get to do something very interesting, and this is called instant text.
Let's go.
So yeah, you might be wondering, why did I just randomly come in and talk to the bike shop owner, knowing full well that I can't get a bike right now because I don't have $1 million or the bike voucher or anything like that. If we go and talk to the bike salesman and then we mash B out of the conversation, it causes an effect in the game called instant text. Before, you might have noticed anytime that a text box pops on the screen, the text will scroll onto it. We set the text speed to fast, so it does it pretty quickly, but it still has to scroll. Because of this weird exploit, by talking to the bike shop salesman in that way, the text no longer scrolls, it just pops immediately, which saves us quite a bit of time. Now, instant text is immediately removed if you go into your menu or you have to answer a yes or no question. So we're going to try and hold on to it for as long as we can, but there are really no guarantees.
Yeah, just for reference, if he has to heal it all, gets rid of it. If a new move is learned, it gets rid of it. Literally, like almost anything just gets rid of its text.
So we're going to try to hold on to it as long as we can, rather. Now, we did get sand attacked by the Pidgeotto, which is unfortunate because that lowers our accuracy by 1/3. So now all of our 100% moves are 66% chance to hit, and then you can obviously imagine that Mega Punch, who wasn't 100% to begin with, is also going to be harder to land. So we're doing okay now, though. So we've had 2 Mega Punch misses, 3 Mega Punch misses. I'm gonna try one more. Okay, we landed that one, which is good. And it crit, so that's excellent.
That's very lucky.
Because we did get growled, so the best move to do in terms of trying to 2-shot the Bulbasaur there would have been to Mega Punch it again, but we don't have to, so that works out. So we get by the rival, I should say, we get by Estat. With relatively unscathed. Our health is still in pretty decent shape, and we still are holding instant text. But this bridge can mess with our health a little bit, even with us being so powerful. So we'll see if we get a little fortuitous here. If there are any comments or anything like that, any other donations, now's a great time. Just because we're just gonna be crushing trainers on Nugget Bridge here. Not too much to say.
I don't have anything right now, but I will plug the monkey bid war for the upcoming monkey ball block again. And like I said, that will stay open throughout that entire block, so you have the potential to impact quite a bit of this marathon.
I shouted it out in NES's run, but I again want to just shout out the genius of putting a Pokemon block into a monkey ball block. Like, that's just going to capture all viewers. It's absolutely amazing that scheduling decided to do that.
I'm gonna plug this monkey ball block too. I'm part of it, Ness is part of it. We have some really good runners here, I'm just saying.
Yeah, this is probably like one of the biggest monkey ball blocks I've seen, like ever.
And plus, like, regardless of like the size of the block, monkey ball in any form is an incredible speed game to watch, and you just can't miss it. It's so good. All right, so obviously we're using Mega Punch here a lot, and we're actually getting pretty lucky, which is great because I missed a bunch of Mega Punches on the rival fight because of being lower accuracy. That Ekans is what we call a range. We kind of touched upon it in NES's run as well. So a range is, there's a chance that we could have killed it, but anytime you do damage, there's a 1 in 16, there are 16 different values of damage that you can do. And if we have gotten one of the lower values of damage that we could have done, then the Pokemon wouldn't die. And that's what happened with Ekans there. I had what we call low roll, so I didn't do as much damage as I possibly could have to kill it. So that's where we ended up.
Yeah, Etiquette actually had a really good explanation of it in his shield run. I almost said sword. Yeah, so definitely check that out. I think it was near the beginning, but check out the run as a whole. It was an incredible run.
Yeah, Etiquette is a special individual. Just one of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to Pokemon runs of any kind, and just has a way of explaining things to make it so easy to understand. Yeah, just a shout out to Etiquette for being just a great person.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's been doing runs for SS4C for a little bit. It's insane. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So we talked about Gen 1 misses. The Mankey just Gen 1 missed me, but I wanted it to hit me. So it's still unlucky, even though I didn't get hit. And you might be wondering, why do I want to get hit? Why do I want to take damage? And that is because there is a very special mechanic we have yet to bring up in Pokemon Red and Blue speedrunning called Red Bar. So when we are hit into a state where our health is 20% or less, you're going to hear that wee-woo sound effect, the be-doo, be-doo, be-doo. And that, beyond being annoying, and just kind of being a nuisance in the ear, if that sound effect is going on, it actually skips level up jingles and Pokemon cries when you're fighting. So it's actually speed tech. We want to get into lower health as we can, because we're going to save time on at pretty much every fight that we are in Red Bar for. But look, I'm not getting hit as much as I would have liked. The plus side to that being, of course, I get to keep Red Bar, keep instant text rather for longer. I still haven't lost it, so that's pretty good. But yeah, there's pretty much nothing on this route. Now that we've gotten into Route 25 here with instant text, there's nothing really on this route that's going to ruin it for me. So we're gonna pretty much keep it as long as we can, which is good news.
Oh, that's actually incredible news. What the heck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good news. The best thing you can do is to keep keep instant text while getting Red Bar would be the most optimal, because you're gonna save the most time that way. But if I can only get one or the other, that's fine. I'll still take one. I don't really, especially in a marathon setting. I don't mind being a little safe and having a little bit higher health.
Yeah.
Well, we got a crit there. That's normally a 2-shot, so excellent. We're getting a little bit lucky here, a little bit. Don't hold your breath now, but it's looking okay. We got trolled at the beginning with a lot of encounters and the IGT, and then we also failed the Manip in Mount Moon, but otherwise it's going okay, so can't complain. All right, so this trainer has 3 Geodudes and a Machop. If I was close to being able to be in Red Bar here, I'd actually try to make this Machop hit me, but because I'm not anywhere close, I'm just gonna attempt to one-shot it with Mega Punch and do so successfully. So, and then these Geodudes obviously go down with Water Gun, easy peasy.
So Gooby was talking in chat, trying to get Ness to do the cricket tune, and he did send in that $1. So do the cricket tune, Ness.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I want to make this as good as it could be. I'll do it in like
Please.
2 minutes. I gotta listen to this. I gotta practice.
Good.
Yeah, you gotta get the reference in the earbuds, and yeah, get a drink of water. Make sure your vocal cords are properly lubricated for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very important. It is for the people. Oh, okay. So I didn't want to say it out loud, but we had hit, besides the rival, which we got our accuracy lowered, we hit every Mega Punch until that last oddish, and we missed one.
That's actually incredible.
Yeah, so I was actually, because we had hit every single one, I was considering doing something a little bit more risky, but it saves a little bit of time, but I'm not going to do it now, which is I could have skipped a Pokemon Center up ahead and just used potions to heal instead, but because we ended up wasting that one, I'm not going to do it anymore, which is fine.
Okay, are you ready?
We no longer... Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Incredible. That was everything I hoped it would be.
It was honestly more than I hoped it would be, so good work.
I really hope my parents don't like try and call me and be like, "Are you okay?"
I think we heard the police.
Uh-oh.
It sounded like a police siren. Yeah, so a couple I'm not recovering well from that. Hold on, let me rare candy here. So a couple things have just happened. One, we lost instant text on the trainer before we talked to Bill here because we ended up learning Thrash. We leveled up to 23 and learned Thrash. Thrash is a very important move, so I'm glad to have learned it, obviously. But we no longer have instant text, so we're gonna get it again. You might also be wondering or have noticed that I used an escape rope inside of Bill's house, which is odd because you're supposed to only be able to use escape ropes in like caves and stuff. But this game has a lot of weird mechanics where you can escape rope or dig out of a lot of buildings, and there's not really a reason why. So we take advantage of that quite a bit.
Yeah. You can just imagine, like, it's a one-story house. You just like throw the rope out, you just like rappel down like the 2 feet.
Yeah, not even hiding it too. It's like you're like, all right, I'm gonna take off, see ya, and then you throw a rope out of somebody's window and climb down. It's kind of strange. Or you dig underground in their house.
Oh, that's probably even worse. Imagine like trying to get that hole like repaired.
Yep, exactly. So we are going to get ready to fight Misty, but we need to get a little bit more experience. So we're actually going to come a little bit out of our way to fight this trainer first. Just to get a little bit more experience. That Machop was an unfavorable range, but we got it. And this Drowsy is a favorable range, and we didn't get it. And oh, okay. All right. This is interesting. So we got Hypnosis. We got put to sleep. We broke out immediately. Yeah, I think we're okay still, weirdly. We're gonna see how. So that confusion obviously took a little bit of a chunk out of our health there. I'm gonna see what this trainer does with her Goldeen. If we don't end up taking damage here, I am going to go into the Misty fight as normal. If we end up taking damage from here, I'm going to heal, which will make me lose instant text. But we'll see what we get.
But yeah, just a quick note about how good Thrash is. If you guys are familiar with like Dragon type moves and stuff, imagine like Outrage, but more of like a normal type. It's not exactly the same thing, but after a few turns, if the battle's not done, you're gonna go into a confusion. You have to hit Thrash through confusion, and it can get really annoying because coin flip.
Yeah, very much so. In later gens, you get 2 to 3 turns of Thrash. In this generation, you get 3 to 4 turns, which is great. So a lot of times that we're gonna use Thrash is when we're gonna be able to use it 3 times, and then the fight will be over. Also, you might have noticed I did in fact take damage from that Goldeen, and I went into it anyway because this is for the people. Good, great. Even I was gonna say, even if it crits, we're fine. Perfect. Okay, so we're okay. We're alive. Misty is scary. Helix actually mentioned it a little bit earlier that the 2 runs that they had performed of Pokemon Red both died to Misty, and that's because Misty is very dangerous. That it's that Starmie specifically. So I mentioned before that I went a little bit out of my way to get a little bit of experience, and that is because with that experience that I gathered, I hit level 25 immediately after we defeated Misty's Starmie. Staryu, I'm sorry, after we defeated Misty's Staryu, which is very important because if we had stayed level 24 for Misty's Starmie, the Starmie would outspeed us. And if the Starmie outspeeded us, we would have almost no shot to live. So now that we'd hit 25, we outspeeded it. We continued to use Thrash, but we will never one-shot the Misty Starmie. Even if we had crit on Thrash, we would not have one-shot it. So what Misty can do is one of a few different things with Starmie. She can use an X defend, which is actually unfortunate because it makes it so Starmie would have to die in 3 hits. We didn't see that, luckily. And then Starmie can use Water Gun or Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam is bad. If Bubble Beam had crit, we would have died. Bubble Beam can also speed fall us, so that next turn we would be slower than Starmie because it would lower our speed. Water Gun is what we wanted to see there. Even if Water Gun had crit, which it did, we didn't die. So we're actually set up okay here. And we still have instant text, so cool.
Only dubs this run. Only dubs.
Only dubs. Let's hope it stays that way. So this trainer has 3 Pidgeys, all of which have quick attack, and I don't want to see quick attack from any of them if I can avoid it. So first 2 are good, because my health is like at a decent spot. I don't really want to lose anymore. Okay, we got one on the 3rd one. So let's see what the rat does in the next trainer. If it quick attacks me as well, we're gonna have to heal before our rival fight. The good news now is that you can see what the red bar mechanics do. We're in red bar right now. You can see that I could skip all these jingles and it's going immediately into the fighting. You can imagine how, if we can continue to hold that for a long period of time, how it could save time for us. So hopefully we can keep it that way. Ooh, got a little bit trolled by that NPC there, but that's okay. Now we're gonna head down to the SSAN.
Do I have a chance to plug some stuff as you're boarding this ship?
Please do.
Alright, we did just open some new incentives. There's one coming up in about 10 hours, Mario Odyssey, from Mario to wear Peach's dress. We're asking $85 for that one. And Spyro 2 Season of Flame, turn in-game music on, was also just open. That one's coming up in over a day, but the goal for that is 175. And as a reminder, we also have the Wario Land 4 Wario Hop minigame incentive coming up in about 20 hours. That's at 117.50 out of 200. I know we can meet all 3 of those. These are absolutely doable, but you gotta get those donations.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely doable, for sure. All right, so quick attack isn't good, but we can make it work, hopefully. So S-Stat strikes again. The Pidgeotto is what we worry about, which we actually got pretty good luck with, so I'm not going to be too annoyed with that. It could stand attack us again, so we didn't want to see that. We're pretty much good from here. I don't really want to see from this Ivysaur Vine Whip because it's going to take 2 hits, so hopefully we don't get Vine Whip. We got Leech Seed, which is perfect. Okay, so we're in a good spot. That being said, we're going to get ready to fight Surge very shortly. It's the next trainer we're going to fight, and we have a decent shot of dying. But it's still worth going for it because we're actually going to save right before because we're going to do an RNG manipulation, so it doesn't particularly matter if we die, just to waste a little time. But we defeat S-Stat for the 3rd time. Something tells me S-Stat will be back again, but we'll see. And then we're going to... This is all we needed to do on the ship, was fight S-Stat and then go talk to the captain. Now we can just leave.
Yeah, this is my favorite segment of the game. It really isn't. It's just fun fillers, battles. Wow, movement.
Yeah. And this is the only input-free part of the game where I can stretch my hands a little bit. You know,
Hydrate.
It's not too bad. Yeah, hydrate. If I don't have a water bottle on me, but I could have if I wanted to. But yeah, we get a nice little roughly 10-second effect here where the ship takes off. All right, and then no more input breaks the rest of the run.
Just straight gaming for an hour and a half more.
All right, so we're gonna pit stop in the mart here, so we're gonna lose instant text, but it's fine because we were going to lose it anyway, so it's not a big deal. Because we're getting ready to go in our menu because we have to. We're gonna buy 4 repels and 4 paralyzed heals. The paralyzed heals are purely for marathon safety. The repels are so we don't have to fight Pokemon later in the wild. So, oops. All right, and then we're gonna go in our menu here. This is one of the few more extended menus in the game where we're gonna teach quite a few things here. We're gonna teach Bubble Beam to our Nidoking. Again, the moveset of a Nidoking is ridiculous in this game. So, and then we're gonna teach Cut to our Paris. And then we actually also have a TM for Dig, in which we're gonna teach to our Paris as well, which is exactly why we like to get Paris. Because Paris can learn both Cut and Dig. It's the only Pokemon that we can catch easily that can do that. And we're gonna save and reset again for our final RNG manipulation, but this one is the easiest one, so it's kind of nice. What we're manipulating here is the cans inside of Surge's gym. There we go. So this is normally a puzzle where you have to find the 2 cans that open up the 2 doors to get to Surge here. We do an RMG manipulation just outside the door that causes those 2 cans that I talked to be the 2 answers that we need. So we don't have to walk around the whole gym fighting 3 trainers potentially and trying to solve this puzzle. We just make it easy for us. And here we are at Surge. So because we were at a specific health amount there, which was less than 21, we went for Thrash on that Voltorb there, which is actually range, so it could have not killed that Voltorb. But we also are banking on getting a 4-turn Thrash here, which we did. So again, a Thrash can be 3 turns or 4 turns, so there was a good chance that I would have done 3 Thrashes and then been confused. But we did not get that, so looking good.
Is that just essentially a coin flip?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like 50-50 as to if it's going to be a 3-turn or 4-turn. But there are very few spots in the run where we depend on it being a 4-turn, and that's one of the only times. So we got lucky.
Let's go. Also, sorry to step out for a second. I had to pick up some hydration. My throat was getting a little bit dry.
No problem. You were gaming and then you were talking. I understand.
Yeah.
It's a busy life. All right, so we talked to this questionable Pokemon fan club leader. Gives us the bike voucher. And then, as we were talking about before, we can just dig out of this building for no reason. And you might have noticed we did not take a Pokemon Center in Vermilion. The last one we took was in Cerulean. Dig transports you to the last Pokemon Center you took. So we are back in Cerulean, which is perfect because now we can get our bike from the bike voucher individual. And I know what you're thinking, unfortunately, that doesn't also give us instant text, so we don't get to use instant text anymore in the run, unfortunately, just for those sections. We teach Thunderbolt to Nidoking because, again, the moveset is ridiculous.
There's a handful of things I just don't understand how it learns. Like Water Gun, and then like Thunderbolt, and like Blizzard. Like, how?
Yeah, it's very interesting. So we, when we were all the way back in Mount Moon, we did our menu where we evolved Nidoran to Nidorino to Nidoking very specifically. And that is because we use the rare candy to level it up to Nidorino. Then we teach Nidorino Water Gun because Nidoking actually can't learn Water Gun. So Nidorino can for whatever reason. So again, that's very strange, but we teach Water Gun then, and then we Moonstone to Nidoking, and then we teach Mega Punch because Nidorino can't learn Mega Punch, but Nidoking can. So we just kind of manipulate the moveset a little bit there in that menu.
Wow, illegal Pokemon.
I would say it's questionable. It's questionable for sure. Not a glitch. Again, this is the NA% glitchless category. So no glitches there. Even instant text is not a glitch. That one was a bit more contentious, but it is not a glitch. All right, so our health is actually in decent shape here. If I had a little bit of higher health on some of these trainers, either here or in Rock Tunnel, which is what we're about to be in, I would probably try to take some damage if I could. But it's actually okay, so I'm not going to chance doing anything. We will fall out of red bar eventually if we don't take any damage, but it's still safer than trying to take a hit and then probably dying later on. So we bubble beam that first Caterpie because this Venonat is technically a range with Thrash is very favorable, but it's technically a range. I take this carefully because I've hit that trainer by accident too many times. Alright, so this is gonna look a little weird. We're entering Rock Tunnel. We do not know Flash. Flash... Oops, I almost used the second one there. Flash is attainable just outside of Viridian Forest by an aid of Professor Oak after you catch 10 Pokemon, or have 10 Pokemon registered in your Pokedex as caught, which we do not do the entire run. So we cannot get Flash even if we wanted to. But luckily, we don't need it. The pattern stays the same, so we as speedrunners, we just learn the pattern and know where trainers are and do our best to navigate around them. There are some trainers like this one that I'm fighting here that cannot be avoided, so we fight them. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
We only fight the trainers we cannot skip.
Yeah, this sounds like an elite gaming moment because no casual is going to want to do this.
You'd be very sad if you did this. I'll give you a pro tip though if you're a casual player and you did not want to get Flash like us. If you were familiar, in the Game Boy, if you hold specific buttons when the Game Boy pops up on the screen, you can actually change the palette colors of the screen. There is a specific palette, now I cannot remember which one it is, but there is a specific palette that if you use it, it's kind of like a brown color, and your character is black. So when you enter Rock Tunnel, your character and any NPC character is darker than the environment around you, so you can make it so you can technically see because you can tell where trainers are and everything. So
wow, cheater palette.
That's literally what it's called in the community. Cheater palette. Yeah.
So silly.
Yep. Perfect. It's perfect for people who are learning and stuff. We got a bit of unfortunate luck here, but then we got some fortunate luck, so it's not the end of the world. So that Oddish is kind of annoying. It's a range to kill. It's not super favorable. And we got paralyzed, which is fine, because that's why we buy paralyze heals like we did earlier, just for marathon safety. But it could have just it could have put us to sleep. It could have done a lot of things. So we actually got lucky. I would have rather it just absorbed. Obviously that would have been the fastest, but I'll take that because then we also had to fight a Bulbasaur at the end, which is also a range. It's much more favorable than the Oddish is, but then we hit the Bulbasaur range through paralysis, so we still got pretty lucky.
Yeah, I see a question in chat. When we were bantering about what was a glitch and what wasn't, someone did ask about Pokédoll.
Yes, so I was going to talk about this a little bit earlier as we're getting ready to get kind of close to it, but we can dive into it a little bit now. So what that person in chat was asking about was the Pokédoll skip, which is we're actually going to do soon. If you're unfamiliar with what a Pokédoll does, ooh, actually I forgot to use the repel here, didn't I? Yes, I did. Good thing I checked. A Pokédoll is an item that ensures that you can run away from any Pokemon. We're going to have a segment coming up which takes place in the Pokemon Tower, which is filled with ghost Pokemon and has a ghosty Marowak that's at the end. And what you're meant to do is you're meant to go into the Celadon City game corner, fight a whole bunch of rocket trainers and all that, fight Giovanni at the end to get an item called the Sylph Scope so that you can see ghosts inside the tower and you can fight them. Otherwise they pop up just saying a ghost has appeared and you can't do anything with it. However, with the Pokédoll, we can still run away from that Marowak by using that Pokédoll. And the Marowak is the only Pokemon we have to see in the Pokemon Tower because we're going to use the repel so nothing else pops up. So by buying a Pokédoll, we are going to skip doing that Marowak, and we can skip the whole segment where we have to go underground to get the Sylph Scope. It saves at least 10 minutes, if not a little bit more. And I'm sure you kind of brought it up under the context. Is that considered a glitch? It's actually confirmed 100% to not be in a glitch, because not too long ago, a few months back, the source code for Pokemon Yellow was leaked. And in the source code for Pokemon, it is listed specifically that you can use a Pokédoll to avoid that encounter as an alternate route.
I actually didn't know that.
So it is 100. It was debated, but most people were fine with accepting that it's not a glitch because you're not doing anything. You're still playing the game as intended. But now that we're confirmed. Cool. Sorry, I use a sound cue for that. Let's see if I can get the second one. Oh, so close. One tile off. Yeah, there's 2 hidden items that we pick up here, which is an elixir and a nugget. But yeah, so that is confirmed, not a glitch. Oops. The one that is most debated is that instant text glitch. It was discovered by a runner named Swaff. And it actually has a convoluted history to it, because it was initially allowed. Then a runner by the name of Gunner Maniac ended up getting the world record in Pokemon Red using it. And then it was banned as a result. And then it was kind of put into its own category of like a no major glitches kind of deal. And then after a lot of debate, we decided to put it back in. However, we're actually getting ready to have a very extensive Pokemon Red Any Glitchless Speedrunning tournament happen. And we've actually decided to go ahead and ban it for the tournament. And that is purely because if somebody that is competing in a race has instant text and somebody else who is in the race ends up losing it early, it becomes very hard to catch up, because instant text saves a lot of time. So for the sake of making races more competitive, we're going to ban it in a race and tournament fashion. But when you're performing for a world record or PB attempt, it's still perfectly allowed for you to do.
Yeah, just for reference, getting instant text for that long was extremely lucky. And there was another marathon like a week ago where he lost it fairly early, and it was kind of sad.
Yeah, I think I lost it to the second or third trainer in on the Nugget Bridge, so I lost it really early. But this time I got to keep it the whole time, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's honestly a bunch of time saved just from pure luck.
All right, so this is the only extensive shopping trip that we're going to do. I did a lot of things there. We bought a lot of different items. The most noteworthy are that we bought a TM07, which is the TM for Horn Drill, which is a one-hit KO move if it hits, but it is a 50-50 shot to hit. We also got another TM from the little girl above by giving her a drink. And she gave us a TM for a move called Rock Slide, which we're going to use very briefly for Pokemon Tower. And then we also bought a bunch of X items, a bunch of repels, some potions, you know, standard stuff. Okay, another extensive menu here, so I'm just going to kind of focus on it so I can do it as fast as I can. Oops, I already screwed it up, so that's okay though. We're going to teach Rock Slide here over Mega Punch, so we don't have to deal with that anymore. You might have noticed I also used a Super Repel there, which is obviously very important. And we have HMO2, which we just got, which is Fly, so we can teach it to our Spearow. And then we can use it right away. Fly back to Lavender Town. And then I also just did some swapping in my menu, just moving items up and down. And that is just because those are items that I'm going to use more often. So items that I use more often, I'm going to try my best in order to move them up so I don't have to continuously scroll down in my menu every time I have to use them. Just simple common sense stuff.
Yeah, menu management is a big thing in Gen 1 and 2 because you have limited menu space or bag space, and it's not like Gen 8 where you can just have basically infinite stuff, as good as that might be. So managing so you can just not use a bunch of inputs to get to where you need to be. And the bag is really useful and it saves a bunch of time.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we actually kind of exploit the limited bag space in this run, but we'll get into that a little bit later on because it's not coming up right now. Right now, actually, either way is fine. So again, that Ivysaur could use Leech Seed or Vine Whip, and we're actually fine either way. We have enough health. If Ivysaur had done Vine Whip there, it would have done 11 damage, so we would have been fine. Well, that is SDAT number 4, if you're counting at home. That is the 4th time, right? Yeah, that's the 4th time we fought the rival. So we're getting your money's worth for everyone who donated towards the rival nickname, so thank you so much for doing that. And yep, as you can see, I used a Super Repel before we got in here, so obviously we're not going to be fighting any random encounters. We just have to fight a few channelers. Every channeler we fight has only Ghastly as his Pokemon, which is what we use Rock Slide for. Rock Slide is a 90% accurate move, so I'm naturally planning to miss at least one. If I do miss one, I don't want it to be in this first trainer because it's the only trainer that we fight in a weakened state. So luckily we didn't, but as long as Rock Slide hits, the Ghastlies are going down. They don't have a chance of surviving. All right, we pick up an elixir there, and there's actually another hidden elixir here. Elixirs replenish the power points of all of your moves, so we're just gonna be using that to avoid having to take Pokemon centers and stuff later on. We walk over that heal pad there, which completely replenishes everything in our party, so now everyone is at full health again.
Thank God you didn't get boned on the fight just before that.
Yeah, luckily we also, so as a part of the route, marathon safety route here, in that extended shopping sequence that I did, I also did buy 2 revives. There's one. I also did buy 2 revives, so if I had died, then I would have just revived, so it wasn't a big deal. That's why I didn't like bother saving or anything like that. This Ghastly is absolutely trolling me because I am paralyzed and confused. But I'm not gonna heal off the paralysis yet. I'm gonna heal it off after. There we go. Because then the Ghastly can just lick me again and then paralyze me again. So. All right, so unlucky, but that's why we get rid of. That's why we buy a few of these paralyzed heals, because we know there's quite a few spots that we can be paralyzed. All right, this is the last Ghastly we have to fight in this area. Actually, in the whole game, I don't think there's any more Ghastlies that we have to fight in the game. Actually,
Oh, is there not?
I don't think so. There's some evolved versions of Ghastly, but I don't think they're Ghastlies themselves.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking of the entire line.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we pick up a rare candy there. And then we're gonna teach Horn Drill now over Rock Slide because we don't need it anymore. Oops, walked a little far. I don't know why I moved that way, but that's okay. You'll notice too a lot of times that I will be trying to menu on a point in which I would turn. And that is just because if you pause on a point where you turn, you when you unpause and turn, it'll actually save you the turn frame, so it just saves a frame every time you do it that way. But since we have to menu a lot, because even to go into our menu to use the bike, because this isn't like Gen 2 where we can register it to our select button and then just click it, every time we want to use our bike we have to go into our menu. It saves a little bit of time over the run.
Yeah, I really missed some of those quality of life features that were introduced into the later games, like registering multiple items. What else? Like the repel menu where you can use another one without having to go into the menu.
Also, just want to shout out this Golbat sprite. It's absolutely breathtaking.
I don't want to look this time.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, some of these Gen 1 sprites are fascinating. They fixed them in yellow. The key point there being that red and blue actually came out before the anime did. So when the anime came out and they had a little bit better, you know, animation that goes into their sprite design, they were able to carry that into yellow and then going forward as well. So we get to do something interesting here. So we're going to get to use an X item for the first time, which we use an X accuracy, and we combine it with the use of Horn Drill. If you remember me talking earlier, I mentioned that Horn Drill is a one-hit KO move guaranteed, but it's a 50-50 chance to hit. So we use an X accuracy before it. In most gens, besides Gen 1, X accuracy increases your accuracy by a specific percentage. In Gen 1, it's absolutely busted because X accuracy automatically just raises your accuracy to 100. And that means you can't Gen 1 miss either. So if you're thinking we could Gen 1 miss those, we can't. So we combine that with Horn Drill, and all of a sudden we have Horn Drills that are 100% guaranteed to hit and kill you no matter what.
Yeah, it's honestly really busted, but one of the only things that like takes away from it is that Horn Drill is such low PP. So you have to use it really, like sparingly.
Yeah, we only have 5 uses of it without having to heal it in some regards. So there are some alternate routes that will actually pick up a PP up and increase Horn Drill's PP to 6. But I actually don't do that route. But some people do it in like in races or marathon settings, just to make some one particular fight later on a little bit more safe. But I'm not particularly worried about it. So
yeah, you're busy incredibly gaming so hard right now on the marathon stream.
Exactly. Yeah, we're just gaming so hard. Yeah, so that wraps up the Pokemon Tower. We just go and get the Poke Flute here from Mr. Fuji. You might be thinking, hey, it's been a while since we've gone to a gym. And you're absolutely right. It has been a very long time, and we have to wait even longer, unfortunately. The way the route is set up, the route is so optimized, but we end up front loading a lot of these story beats that we have to hit in order to progress the story. So we'll front load them, and then you'll notice at the end parts of the game, we go on basically a boss rush of gym leaders.
Yeah, honestly, the pacing of the game is like really weird because casually you do like a gym and then do some side stuff and then do another gym. But we just do all like the side stuff and then just within like 20 minutes just do like 6 gyms and then the E4 and then we're done.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we just knock out a lot of this right at the beginning. So now we're going into Silph Co, where we are going to confront Giovanni and Team Rocket for what's supposed to be the second time, but is our first time because we skipped the first one. We're just going to walk up the stairs because it's a little bit faster than taking the elevator. And we're coming to this floor specifically, picking up another hidden elixir from this tree. And then, yeah, one of the 2 rocket fights that we have to fight in the Silph Co segment. This rocket only has 1 Pokemon, and it's an Arbok. We do have a chance of 2-shotting it, but most of the time it takes 3 shots. Unless, of course, we used X accuracy and then Horn Drill, which we could use, but I'm choosing not to. Because I actually don't mind taking some damage from this Arbok. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it for later on. Fortunately, it's just being very slow. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is very interesting. I've never been this low going into this rival fight, so this is gonna be interesting. I'm not worried about the paralysis. I have a paralyzed heal still, so that's fine. I'm gonna heal that off right now, actually. I even have 1 more paralyzed heal if I need to. But we do want to take some damage. We took way too much damage because I flinched a couple times. And I think I was fully paralyzed once too in there. I missed it. But yeah, this rival fight might be a little interesting. We'll see. That's why we get the revives. All right, we just traversing through here. Any other, you know, donations, shout outs, plugs, anything that we have, this is a good time for it.
Yeah, I've been checking. We don't have any donations yet. I think y'all should get on that. As a reminder, This is benefiting Direct Relief and their efforts to combat the coronavirus. So you know it's going toward a good cause.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's get those donations in. Let's go. Here we are at the rival fight. We're gonna use 2 X items, and hopefully we don't die. Okay, that's a good first turn. We have to use 1 more. Fine, perfect, cool. We're okay for this fight now.
Let's go.
We could still have a little bit of interesting fighting in the next 2 fights here. We'll see. But yeah, basically we X accuracy so we can make sure all of our horn drills hit, and then we X speed to make sure we're faster than everything. And then yeah, we just horn drill to win for the rest of this fight. And this is SStat 5 if we're counting. So 5th time we've seen SStat. Really becoming a pain in our rear end here.
Yeah, scheduling over us and everything.
No, I can't say too much because I'm running for that marathon as well, so I can't say too much. Yeah, and they've been really. Everyone is wonderful. All right, SpeedStuff4Charity is so wonderful. Speed Doxathon is also wonderful. Everyone is wonderful, and I'm just happy.
Yeah. Oh, one thing that was like brushed on the tiniest bit earlier was that there was a bunch of like alternate routes you can take for just the main any %, but even like outside of any %, there's still a bunch of different routes that you can take, like different alt mains and different like getting different items for safety. Like this, I don't think this is like the most optimal any % route just because it's a marathon and you want to be safe. But like even like in any %, there's a bunch of different like small variations that you can do, and I think it's just really optimized red and blue because so many people have just had a hand in it.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have said it better. What NES was saying is true. This isn't the most optimized. It's still incredibly optimized, but we do some things for safety for marathon strats. Like in a PB attempt, you wouldn't get these paralyzed heals, you wouldn't get these revives, things like that. These are just for safety. But even so, the world record for this game is 1 hour and 45 minutes. If you took this marathon strat and like added these items, you could still get less than a 150 very easily. So it's still very optimal. It's just a little bit slower, just a tiny bit. Now, am I gonna get below 150 in this run? I don't think so. But I might be in the mid 150s as of right now. So we'll see.
Let's hope for a sub 150.
I've never done it, so that would be great if that happened.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
My PB is a 152, so it's a late 152 as well. So if we somehow magically get in the 152 range, we're gonna be popping off. We'll just say that.
And I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome.
I would pop off with you.
I don't think it's gonna happen. But that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be quite the clip.
Yeah. Nothing of note for this Giovanni fight other than we use that X accuracy at the beginning, and Nidorino can do damage to us. We wanted to be below a certain HP threshold for a fight coming up later on. We're already well below it, so it's fine. But if I needed to stall on a Pokemon for that rocket that we fought before Giovanni, there are plenty of Pokemon here that I could have stalled on to get some more damage. But I'm already well below the threshold, so it's perfectly fine. All right, so that's everything we need to fight in Silphco, but we are going to make one last stop onto floor 10 just to pick up some items. And those 2 items that we're going to pick up are yet another rare candy, very important in the run. And we're also gonna pick up this TM26, which is Earthquake. Guess who's gonna learn that move? Spearow, you're right. If you guess Spearow, you're right. Just kidding. It's gonna be Nidoking, obviously. All right, now we're gonna make our way towards a gym, but we're not gonna fight the gym yet. But we're making our way towards one, so that's something. We're gonna do an inventory swap spot here. We used a super repel because we're gonna go very briefly into some grassy tiles on Bicycle Road here. But first, we got to get by Snorlax. Everyone say hi, Snorlax.
Hi, Snorlax.
And then everyone say bye, Snorlax, because we're just gonna run away.
Bye, Snorlax.
The GDQ audience boos.
Yeah, oof. Well, sorry, but we gotta go fast here. So we go very briefly into this grass tile in order to get this hidden rare candy, and then we don't go into any grass at all. We just hover around the side. And I actually lied. This is another spot, no inputs needed, because on the bicycle path here, it automatically pulls you down. So I'm not using my hands at all for this. But as soon as we get towards the end here, there's a little water, so I want to dodge that, so I'll go to the left. And then after we jump this ledge, I have to control the bike again, unfortunately.
So sad.
Yeah. I always forget about that. It's a very brief reprieve. All right, so we got to go in our menu again. So we're gonna do another swap. We moved our rare candies up earlier. We're gonna, oops, I actually passed it. We're gonna move our specials up and then use our TM that we just got for Earthquake.
Shout out again to the Monkey Ball block coming up next, where I get a handbrake after like every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, this is still much less in comparison to other more intensive runs like Monkey Ball. Yeah. All right, so we are in Fuchsia City here, which is actually going to be the next gym we fight. We obviously are doing the gym battles in a much different order than the game intended, but it doesn't really matter. After you get past Vermilion, the game opens up and you can kind of do things in whatever order you want to anyway. But before we do anything with Fuchsia City gym battles, we got to enter the Safari Zone, only to grab some very important items.
Let's go, best movement in the game.
Yeah, it's just so, like, there we use a repel, so we paid to enter the Safari Zone to catch Pokemon. And what we did is we used a repel so we don't see any Pokemon. But we just get this nice, fun, not difficult at all, just fluid movement that just, it's a nice little like breather. You know, nothing bad can happen. You're not gonna accidentally hit an extra trainer or something. Just a nice little fun bike segment.
I do see someone mentioning Ash percent in the Twitch chat, and I'm just gonna say that's not an alternate route that we're gonna talk about today.
yeah, that is a very long run. Ash percent is completing Pokemon Yellow, specifically as progressing with the same Pokemon and at the same pace that Ash did, basically, in the anime. So it's yeah, it's difficult to say the least. I think the world record's like in the 5 to 6 hour range. I can't remember exactly.
I think so, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Oops, there we go. So weirdly, we can dig out of the Safari Zone in open air, and then we dig back to Celadon because that's the last Pokemon Center we used, and then we just fly back to Fuchsia City here. And bike, and now we're in a gym. Finally. So this is Koga's gym. Meant to be the 5th gym badge that you collect, but this is going to be our 4th. There are 2 trainers we have to fight in here. The first trainer absolutely cannot touch us no matter what, unless we Gen 1 miss, I guess. But we just Earthquake it, all 4 Pokemon down to the ground. The second trainer is one that's a little bit more scary, especially with my health as low as it is. It has a decent shot of killing me, so we'll see.
Is our Gen 1 miscount only at 2?
Yeah, well, I had one and then a trainer had one, so it's at 2. But 2 is already too much, in my opinion. Plenty of runs have 0. Plenty of runs have 0. I've seen runs have 3 or 4, but that's about the most I've ever seen in one run. Again, it's a 1 in 256 chance. It's not very likely.
Yeah, I did a no save corruption run a couple years ago, and it had like 2.
Yeah, and that run is 11 to 15 minutes roughly.
Yeah.
So much less long than this run. A lot less time rather than this run. All right, so this is the scary fight. Drowsy is not the scary Pokemon. The second Pokemon this juggler has is Hypno. And we cannot one-shot Hypno unless we get a crit. And so we're gonna hope for that. And if we don't get a crit, the one move we do not want to see is Confusion. Confusion will probably kill us. I think it almost certainly kills us. Oops, well, I used the wrong move, so we're dead. That's fine. That was a misplay on my part, but it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. We're gonna use Paris. Because it probably wasn't gonna one-shot. So what we're gonna do is we're going to revive here.
And that's $5.
That's $5. Yep. That's fine. Yeah, I meant to use Earthquake there, so I actually at least had a shot of one-shotting it, but I probably wouldn't have anyway. And then the second move we would have used is Thunderbolt. So I just did things a little bit out of order, but that's okay. That's $5 plus the Gen 1 misses, so we're in there for some cash.
Yeah. This run is a cash cow, and we're gonna milk it until it's done.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now we're at Koga. Nothing. This fight is free. Nothing scary. No chance of dying or anything like that. So, just 4 Pokemon that all go down very easily.
Fun fact, actually, I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, but there is a Super Monkey Ball custom stage that has the same layout as Koga's gym.
Ooh, that sounds awesome. Is it with like the invisible walls and stuff?
Yep.
Oh man, that sounds really cool.
It's not too hard if you already know the layout, but it's really neat.
All right, so this last one, we're actually going to use an elixir before we kill it because it's just so unlikely to kill us. So, elixir just to get our PP back up. Oh no, self-destruct. Oh no, that's another death. We still won. Oh no, we still won. So I guess that's something. That was the first instance of manipulating our bag space, by the way. After every gym battle, of course, the gym leader wants to give you a TM. So we no longer have space in our bag, so we don't get the TM, which saves us a lot of time because we don't have to listen to them talk about the TM and explain what it is. And if you haven't caught on by now, that last death was planned. That self-destruct is actually what we want to see. So you might have seen there what I just did. So don't freak out. It's all good, everybody. Put down those hyperventilation bags. We're good. That death is on purpose. And you saw that I just used the 3 rare candies that were in my inventory. For whatever reason, when we use a rare candy, when you level up, of course, you increase your HP. But when you level up a fainted Pokemon, it still increases your HP. So we still get that HP boost. So we're no longer fainted, which is great. And we leveled up 3 times. And now, if you can piece it together, potentially, what that means is we are going to be in red bar for quite some time. And we're going to save a bunch of time doing it. But we're going to head down to Cinnabar Island and into the Poke Mansion. And if you were like me, who played this game casually as a kid, and you're exploring these open waters and the Seafoam Isles and all these trainers and all these wild Pokemon, and you're like, wow, it takes so long to get to Cinnabar. Like, how did I ever find it? Well, fun fact, if you just go to Pallet Town, go straight down, and go exactly 1 tile to the left, you'll just land at Cinnabar. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. You dodge all trainers, you use a repel, then you can dodge all your all wild Pokemon encounters too. So there you go. Now we're in the Poke Mansion. We're in the Poke Mansion because we need to get a key in order to get into Blaine's gym. later on, so we're just going to go basically the fastest path to the end of it. But we are going to pick up a couple items while we're here that are going to be very important to the run. You'll see here, if I planned it out exactly, then my rappel should expire exactly on that tile, which it did. Because we're going to need to menu here anyway. So we taught our Squirtle Surf. We're now going to teach our Squirtle Strength. I just realized that I wasted a minute because I didn't pick up the item first. I'm supposed to pick this up first and then go into the items, because we need to teach this TM that we just got. And this TM teaches Blizzard, which we're going to teach to our Nidoking. And now this is our final move set for Nidoking. And then we're going to use our last regular repel that we have left. And there we go. So if you're keeping track, the final moveset for our Nidoking is Horn Drill, Earthquake, Thunderbolt, and Blizzard. Pretty ridiculous. Right, and then last item we're going to pick up is this rare candy, which is important for obvious reasons, I think. And then, of course, the necessary item, the secret key. And we can just dig out. All right, so now begins our sort of boss rush. So we're gonna fight a bunch of gyms right in a row. Oops. 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 Get down there. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, keep in mind that we're basically at like the 130 mark, and the estimate's 205. So it's gonna go by really quick, which is why Gen 1 is a really fun run, especially for people who are just getting into Pokemon runs, because the ending pace is just like lightning speed.
Yeah, I'd also say that the barrier to entry for this run specifically is actually pretty low. The route isn't super complicated. The thing you want to focus on is making sure you can get that manipulation for the Nidoran down, because that is the basis of your whole run. Before we discovered RNG manipulation, we would still use Nidoran, but we would have to figure out what our Nidoran's stats are in, as the game progresses, and then we'd have to adjust our route based on how strong or weak our Nidoran was. So the fact that we can have a consistently strong, basically god tier Nidoran every run is very important to being able to enter speedrunning this. But it's not an overly complicated manipulation. There's even some manipulations that are just slightly longer but easier to execute that you can do to get a Nidoran of similar quality. So if you're interested in learning, just join the PSR Discord and we can get you started.
Yeah, actually, there's still some other like competitive alternate mains. Like if you use Blastoise, for that you just have to make sure that your stats are good enough. There are some things that'd be kind of harder, but overall I would say if you take some safeties, the route would be honestly just as easy.
Exactly. Oops. There we go. So that's Erica down, so now we're at 5 badges. Now we're gonna fly to Cinnabar and take care of Blaine. Blaine is one of the gym leaders that is actually guaranteed free, unless you make like a mistake. Barring any execution mistakes, the fights are guaranteed free. The unfortunate part is that you have to answer quiz questions in order to get to Blaine. And in Gen 1, every time you activate the quiz machine here, it goes through the long spiel of Pokemon quiz, get it right, and the door opens to the next room, get it wrong, face a trainer, blah, 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 blah. Goes through that spiel every question. We answer 7 questions, so it takes quite a bit of time. You might be noticing that my cursor isn't moving, so you might be thinking that I'm pressing yes for every answer. But that is not the case. If you hit B, it answers no. So it's faster than pressing down than A. So then we just answer B for no. If you want to know the correct answers of the quiz, it is yes, no, no, yes, no. I'm sorry, yes, no, 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 yes, no. There you go. There's 3 no's in there.
There we go.
The first question is still the one that's up to, I think it's still controversial, especially as a kid. I thought it was controversial. So if you didn't see it, the first quiz question asks, does Caterpie evolve into Butterfree? Now, what's the answer to that question? Is it yes? Because technically the evolution line starts with Caterpie and ends with Butterfree, but you could also argue that it is no, because Caterpie evolves directly into Metapod, and Metapod evolves into Butterfree.
I think if someone came up to me and asked me, hey, will this Caterpie evolve into Butterfree? I would say yes.
Yes. Yeah, then you would be correct, because that is the right answer. You're meant to answer yes for that question. But as a kid who didn't have as much common sense as Helix here, I answered no the first time, and then I had to fight a trainer, and I was upset, so... So we have something interesting there. So we have an instance of AI manipulation here. And what I mean by that is that a lot of the gym leaders or your rival or fights that are of importance have quote unquote smart AI. And what that means is that if their Pokemon has a move that is of a super effective type against your Pokemon, they will use it. So for example, as Poison Ground, Nidoking is susceptible to psychic damage. So what that means is if they have smart AI, they're going to try to spam using psychic moves. Makes sense. However, not every psychic move is damaging, such as Agility. Agility is a psychic move. And what we did for that Growlithe is we knew that Growlithe was going to continuously spam Agility because it's a psychic type move and it wants to be super effective against us. Agility doesn't damage us at all, and we're not really worried about speed, so we just kind of take advantage of that and then set up our X accuracy, and then we Earthquake that one and Horn Drill the rest. Easy as pie. And then, yep, so Blaine, while I was explaining Blaine, we're already at Sabrina, so.
Yeah, this really is just rapid fire, gym after gym after gym. Like, don't blink. I mean, you can maybe blink because there's like 20 minutes, but you get the sentiment.
Yeah, don't blink if you want to see all the gyms. We'll say it that way. So this fight is also free. But it is free because it is down to a very specific routing. So you just see there, after I defeated that Mr. Mime, I leveled up to 45. Now, this Venomoth isn't a problem, but this Alakazam has a very high speed stat, okay? Because of the exact routing that we do, the exact path that we take, making sure that Sabrina is basically the last gym that we do before Giovanni, we hit level 45, and that increases our speed to exactly 1 point above that Alakazam. 1 point only. So that just goes to show you like how tight and specific the routing is.
Yeah, that just circles back to this game is incredibly optimized because of so many people just knowing really specific things about the game, to where that just lines up perfectly, like every time.
Yep, exactly. All right, and if you're counting at home, we have 7 badges. We are on to the 8th here, which is Giovanni. We have to do Giovanni last because the gym will not unlock unless we have the other badges already. All right, we have to fight 2 trainers before we get to Giovanni. This one is free, just has a ride on. It's very simple. The next one is not so free. Not so free at all. So we just Earthquake this one, goes down. So the next trainer has 2 Machokes and a Machop. And in order to make it fast, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up an X accuracy and then Horn Drill, use a combination of Horn Drill and Blizzard to take them all out. Now, the reason why I'm saving here is not because I'm particularly afraid of dying, because I have those revives. Well, I have a revive, so it's not particularly dangerous per se, but I want to stay in red bar. So if I had to use a revive here, it would actually end up being slower to revive and stay alive as opposed to resetting. So we're just gonna hope that we don't die here. Karate Chop is what we don't want to see, and we died. That's fine. The only chance that I could have survived that karate chop is if it didn't crit, but karate chop has a massive crit chance.
Yeah, it's
Massive.
It's kind of like Slash in Stadium from earlier. It's pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact percentage, but it's very high. It's in the 90s, I'm pretty sure. So we want to see anything besides karate chop, and if we do see karate chop, unfortunately, we want to hope it doesn't crit, but that's very unlikely. So we'll try this again. X accuracy. Ugh.
Let's see a karate chop
Okay.
Gen 1 miss.
No, we got hit. It's actually not, he's not super favorable to use karate chop. There's a lot of things that can happen there. I think it's 1 in 4. So the fact that I got twice there is very unlucky. Come on, black belt, stop trolling us. Do it for the people. Everyone's watching.
Come on, just throw for content. We did it.
Yeah, throw for content, exactly. Oops. Try to use a repel on him. Come on! Oh, it didn't crit. Okay, so, cool. All right,
Okay,
nice.
we did it.
All right, so very good. Again, very unlikely that it doesn't crit. But now we're fine. It's guaranteed from this point. We just have to be able to get that X accuracy off. But I cannot tell you, I cannot state enough that how unlucky it is to have gotten it 3 times in a row. It's pretty crazy. Very unlucky.
Yeah.
But we want to stay in red bar. The good thing about that is if everything goes to plan, then we will stay in red bar all the way through Bruno in the Elite Four. So that's good. Because we can fall out of red bar during the fight with Bruno if we don't get damaged at all between that self-destruct in here. Well, in the Elite Four, I should say. So now we definitely have been hit, so we won't stay in red bar. So it does make it that we can die during Bruno now, but we'll see. Giovanni's free, by the way. Not a danger at all. It's funny that the ultimate trainer in this fight is in fact that black belt and not at all Giovanni.
Yeah, I think he should be the one running the gym.
Yeah, and this fight is completely free based off of just being able to earthquake everything, except his last Pokemon we blizzard instead of earthquake. Nidoqueen, bye. And then he tries to oppose us with our own Pokemon. Get your Spider-Man memes ready. But no, doesn't stand a chance. Gets wrecked. And then we blizzard. It's actually a range. We didn't get it, which is fine. The Rhydon can't kill us. We just have to blizzard it a second time.
Helix isn't here, but real quick, I just want to say something. We are
Go for it.
like $45 away from meeting like our third goal of 1500. Literally only 45 bucks away. So I feel like we can do that by the end of the day, like really easily. So
by the end of this run, even.
yeah,
Let's go.
we're incredible.
There's not a lot of time left, but yeah, we could do that. We could do that easily.
Yeah, honestly, the entire staff has just been blown away by the pace that we've been making. So if you guys, contribute to that just a little bit, get us to that third goal, we would be at basically just 1 goal a day, which is insane.
Yeah, I mean, considering that y'all thought you were gonna make 500 for the length of the event, and we're already talking about 1500, like,
yeah,
I can't even believe it. Like, that's just incredible to me.
yeah, our growth has just been like absolutely massive.
All right, so we're gonna use X special here. This is another instance of that manipulating the AI, because Pidgeot knows agility as well, so it will continuously spam agility because that's all it can do. Because it's quote unquote smart. So
Yes, very intelligent.
very intelligent. We only need to use X special there. However, I decided to use an X accuracy as well, because even though blizzards have been hitting, blizzards are not 100% accurate move. They're actually, in this gen, they're 95%. They really shrink that in later gens, but it's a 95% accurate move in Gen 1. So that's why it's so powerful. But I don't want to miss the Blizzard on the Venusaur. I don't want to risk it, so I decided to use X accuracy to ensure that it will definitely hit. Oh yeah, and this is S-stat number 6, by the way, right? Yeah, 6.
I think so. We only have
this is
like
a 6th time.
The handful of S-stats. Like 1, right?
Yeah, just the one more. Perfect. All right, so that Venusaur is also not only could I have just missed altogether, but even when it hits, that Venusaur is a favorable range, but it's a range. I talked a lot, well, not at length, but a little bit earlier about some people using the PP up route so that they have 6 horn drills. And if they have 6 horn drills there, their strat that they use is they will definitely use an X accuracy on Pidgeot, and then they will just horn drill the Venusaur to guarantee kill it. It's technically it's definitely safer, but it's a bit slower, and because it's so favorable to kill, and we have revives of it anyway, I just chose not to include it. Also, I'm walking here, and I don't need to be. I can be on my bike. I don't know why I'm not on my bike. There we go.
We're just trying to leave some more time in the run for donations.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't want to leave yet.
Yeah, we're just
don't want to leave. Don't want
yet again.
I don't want to quit you, SpeedStuff4Charity. All right, so yeah, we're on our way to Victory Road here. This is the classic, hey, I gotta check to see if you have all the badges. We do have a Super Repel active right now, but that Super Repel was purely for that small patch of grass where we caught the very same Nidoran before. You actually cannot hit encounters in this water, so it doesn't matter having it here. And there's also some grass here as well, but I re-upped Super Repel when I did that same menu with the bike anyway.
Yeah, something really interesting that I learned last time. I don't know if it was already mentioned, but if you save and you have a Repel active, at least in Gen 1, it doesn't save that you have the Repel active, so you have to re-add one.
Yep, that's correct. Which would have came into case only a few times. The main one that I can think of was all the way back when we were in Rock Tunnel, and I had to fight that trainer that had the Oddish and the Bulbasaur. That Oddish can definitely kill us. It's a very dangerous Oddish, so I always save for that fight before in marathon routes, unless I have really high health for some reason. And if I had died, then I would have had to use a Repel immediately after the fight as opposed to later, because then I would have been risking hitting encounters because I saved and quit, and then I no longer would have had to Repel active.
So just
oh boy, I almost hit that trainer. Sorry, go ahead.
Will we be seeing any swag boulders today?
That remains to be seen. I will definitely try. But I'm not good at it. So it's a 2-frame trick, and it's completely visual, and it actually wastes time, technically. Just frames, but it wastes time. But I will try it on both this long boulder coming up and then the long boulder at the end. I'll try it both times.
Heck yeah.
Will you see it? I don't know, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it for the people.
For the fans, let's go.
I'm gonna wait until it's, yeah, safe undercover. I don't want to accidentally hit the boulder a different way. Almost had it there. Almost had it there. I'm not as good at doing it downward. I'm better doing it upward. So didn't get it there, but we'll try it. We'll try it on the next long boulder, and hopefully we can do it.
Yeah, this is like the best trick of the entire game.
Yep, you definitely don't want to miss it. It's definitely worth it.
My eyes are just peeled open right now. The pressure's on.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. If I had biked well, then I wouldn't had to have used that extra menu to use my Super Repel. I could have used it here. But I did not bike well, so here we are. Oops. All right. Last chance to get some swag boulder action. Oh yeah, got one.
Heck yeah. That's the best
Oh,
thing
it's
I've ever
beautiful.
seen.
Oh, whoa, whoa. I shouldn't have tried it on the ladder. Let's see if I can get one more. Nope. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Now I'm getting a little too zealous here. All right, hold on. There. All right, let's get the boulder on the switch. That's the important part. All right, but we did get one. Obviously, it is a purely visual glitch that if you do it specifically, if you turn your character on the same frame as to you were pushing the boulder, your character will turn, and the dust that would occur from your character would faces the wrong way, basically.
It's my favorite trick in the entire game. It's my favorite trick.
So I am depositing one Pokemon here, which is Paris, because Paris is dead. So Paris is not useful to me. In a PB attempt, we would actually deposit everything that is not... Come on. Oh yeah, that's I was trying to do bag switching instead of Pokemon switching. We would deposit every Pokemon that is not our Nidoking, and then we would actually keep Spearow as well. But I am going to hold on to Squirtle in case we do have a death, because then I can use the Squirtle as a buffer to use a Repel. But because Paris is already dead and I'm not going to heal Pokemon because I want to keep in red bar, then I'm just going to deposit Paris. And that is because every Pokemon in your party is put into the Hall of Fame at the end. Oops, I meant to switch to Spearow, but I don't think it matters. Unless it does. It might matter. I might have messed up here.
Oh no.
It's okay. I can just die. It's not the end of the world. No, actually, we're okay. We're fine. We're perfectly fine. So what I meant to do there, and only because I screwed myself up because I accidentally deposited my Nidoking at the beginning instead of my my Paris, which made all of my Pokemon in different order. I'm used to my bird being the third Pokemon in my list, but it was my second Pokemon because I messed up the order. If you swap to a bird, the Lorelei has smart AI, so the bird will go down with an Aurora Beam, which is an ice type move. And then for whatever reason, that Dugong's AI has it so no matter what, after it uses Aurora Beam, the very next move it will use is Rest. So what we do is we swap to the bird, let the bird take the Aurora Beam. Then we know for sure Dugong's next move will be to use Rest. So we use that as the opportunity to set up our X accuracy. And then we just horn drill to win the rest of it. The reason why I was nervous is because I swapped to Squirtle by accident. So the AI was thrown off. It used Takedown instead. And then when I killed Squirtle, it went back to Nidoking. I took the chance and used an X accuracy anyway, and it still used Rest, so it was fine.
Yeah, Lorelei's just giving us a heart attack right now.
No, I'm giving us a heart attack by misplaying all over the place. But Bruno is very safe, especially now that Onyx didn't do anything that first turn, is very safe. So, no worries here. Lorelei is very safe as long as you don't screw it up like I did, but it's fine. We got through. All right, so Bruno we just take out. On each of his Onyxes we use Blizzard instead because it's a little bit faster. If we use Horn Attack, then we have the it's not very effective text combined with the one-hit KO text. So it's 2 text boxes versus just 1 for saying it's super effective. So that's why we use Blizzard. And then, yeah, there we go. That's Bruno. Easy as pie.
Heck yeah.
All right, and now we have Agatha, who is a little bit more dangerous, but not super dangerous. I'm gonna use a potion as well, just to be a little extra safe here. Then oh yeah, my rare candy. So we use a rare candy here in order to set up a better speed strat, and I am just gonna save, just to be safe. Might as well. Because we use that rare candy there, we're actually, as long as we execute correctly, we're going to be faster than her second Gengar. Otherwise, we would have had to use an X speed. But now we don't have to, so it's fine. But we do have to use an X item here, which is X special.
Wow, we're just
Last time, yeah. Last time I was on a run and NES was commentating, I forgot to use the X special there, which made the fight a little bit more interesting, but we still got by it, so it was fine. And we just gotta make sure this blizzard hits. That's all we care about. If the blizzard doesn't hit that Golbat there, it's guaranteed to die if it does hit, but if it misses, then the Golbat could use a move called Haze, which eliminates all status changing effects, which means it would have canceled my X special. But there's also a hidden special effect change in here called badge boosts. So every badge that you earn gives you a boost to a particular stat. So that we have all 8 badges, obviously, so we have all of the stat boosts. But Haze eliminates the badge boosts as well. So one of the badges, I forget which one it is, gives us a boost to speed. So because we would no longer have X special, so our moves wouldn't hit as hard, but also we would no longer be faster than the Gengar up here, so we had to have used an X speed to make it so we could get by. But that Agatha fight went as good as it could have gone, so we're on to Lance.
We're getting close to the end.
That's right. We're gonna do a few things here. We're gonna use an elixir. We're gonna heal to 129 health or more. That is a very specific number, I know. But that is very important for a range that we're gonna have, and then we're gonna save. So, Lance. Lance is completely free once you get past his first Pokemon, which is a Gyarados. What we're gonna do is we're gonna X special. Gyarados, it's smart AI, so Gyarados is guaranteed to use Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump has a chance to miss. It's not a 100% accurate move, so if it misses, that's fine. If it hits, that's also fine because it will put us in red bar. But we do not want it to crit, is the only thing we don't want. If it crits, we're definitely dead. All right, it missed, so that's fine. If it crits, we'd definitely be dead and we'd have to reset, or I could use the revive. Either or is fine.
Yeah, the bar is really low for just getting past the Gyarados, but I've seen that just not happen.
Yep. Now, you could get trolled here by missing some blizzards, which I just missed one, but it's perfectly fine. But the fight is still pretty free because the Dragonairs can't kill you anyway. They will just spam agility because, again, smart AI, quote unquote.
Also, I love all 3 dragon types from Gen 1.
Yeah. Shout out to the 3 ghost Pokemon and the 3 dragon Pokemon.
And then also honorary dragon Gyarados, I guess.
Yeah, and Aerodactyl, apparently, who's rock flying.
That's not even close.
Yep. Just because it looks like one, I guess. I don't know.
Looks like a dinosaur.
All right, and then, yeah. And then we got Dragonite. Of course, we get another Blizzard Miss just to continuously troll me. So that is a little bit unfortunate. I didn't love to see that, only because. So we have. It doesn't affect the Lance fight at all, having using those blizzards. But I do like to have at least one blizzard for the champion, because if we get trolled a little bit by the Pidgeot here, we would want to use a blizzard instead of a horn attack. We don't have that option anymore because we don't have blizzards left, so that's a little unfortunate. But on the plus side, our health is really high, so it probably won't get trolled too bad. This is the last fight. This is SDAT number 7, also known as the champion, because he has defeated the Pokemon lead, so he is the most powerful trainer in the world, quote unquote. We'll see about that.
Yeah, those are the biggest air quotes I've ever seen. This guy's never heard of X items and just getting lucky.
Yeah, exactly. So a few things to note for this fight that makes it a little bit unique. That's fine, wing attack is fine. For whatever, even though we have it turned off, battle animations will now be in the fight. Don't really know why, they just are. But we got lucky enough that the only thing that would have really ruined us is if Pidgeot had used Sky Attack turn 1 and it had crit on us, is the only thing that could have ruined this fight. I wouldn't have minded if it hit us with Sky Attack in general, because then it probably would have put us in red bar, which would have saved time, but that's fine. This fight is now completely safe.
We did it.
We are approaching the end of the run. Now, time is not going to be after we defeat the champion here. It's at the fade out from the Hall of Fame, but time is coming up decently soon.
Is there any shoutouts you have or anything?
Yeah, so we'll shout out a few things. I mentioned it earlier before, but we do have a Pokemon Red Any Glitchless Speedrunning tournament coming up. It's got massive participation. We have something like 60 entrants, or 60 something entrants, which is really cool. It's of all ages. Signups are closed, unfortunately, but definitely check it out just to see like different levels of speedrunning. I'm definitely somebody who's not an expert runner, but I'm not a beginner runner either. I'm somewhere in the middle, I would say. So I'm excited to be a part of that. As kind of connected to that, just join the Pokemon Speedrunning Discord if you're interested. Doesn't matter if it's this game, any of the mainline games, any of the side games, we can get you started. If you want to look for that, you can do it for any Pokemon game. You just go speedrun.com. If you want to do this one, you can do /PKMN Red Blue. That pulls up the leaderboard, and then on the left side of the leaderboard, you just click the Discord option, and you can join that way. I also wanted to shout out NES for the excellent commentary. I really appreciate you being here.
No problem.
Of course. I also wanted to just shout out everyone on the amazing staff here for tech, for hosting, for donation reading. I felt so welcomed and so blessed to be asked to be a part of this, especially running one of the most popular speedrun games there is. So thank you so much for having me. And yeah, if you like this, or I also quote unquote famously run a lot of Harry Potter games and dress up as Harry Potter while I run them. If you're interested in seeing that, you can follow me at twitch.tv/conception2. If you're interested in potentially see me running a Harry Potter game dressed up as Harry Potter, swing on by Speed Doxathon tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, where I will be running Chamber of Secrets. Time is coming up when the screen fades white. And time.
GG.
We did it. That was just I mean, according to my timer, just sub 2. We got a little bit unlucky there with some RNG manipulations, but overall a pretty good showing.
That's incredible for a marathon.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, I already did all my shout outs, so thank you so much for having me. Thank you to those who watched, and yeah, continue to enjoy the marathon. Do not miss the monkey ball block. Do not miss it.
Thank you so much, Conception, for closing out honestly one of our bigger blocks. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for having me.